Elena noticed that I had stopped asking for her opinion on everything. An email came from work. A position had opened up at the New York headquarters, and they wanted to know if I was interested. I filled out the application and hit send before I even remembered I hadn't told her. When Sam's wedding invitation arrived, addressed to Caleb Vance and guest, I RSVP'd for one and wrote a separate check for their gift. Even the minor surgery, the one that required a hospital stay, I handled myself. I found a specialist, dealt with the insurance pre-approval, and scheduled the procedure all on my own. Elena was a surgeon. When she found out, she frowned. "You're sick? Why didn't you tell me?" The words slipped out before I could stop them. "I handled it, don't worry." As soon as I said it, we both froze. Just 2 weeks ago, I was the attentive boyfriend who would text her photos of restaurant menus and wine lists, agonizing over which place would make our anniversary perfect. The Italian place or the steakhouse? "Does this tie look too formal for your work gala?" She used to answer. Then her replies became a curt, "Either one is fine," and eventually, she just left me on red. I thought she was just busy, until I realized she wasn't like that with everyone. For instance, with Liam, the son of her late mentor, whom she'd been asked to look after. "The surgery is tomorrow?" The attending physician handed me the clipboard, his tone routine. "Dr. Mercer is still out of town for a conference. If you'd like to wait for her, we can reschedule." "No," I said. "Tomorrow is fine." The doctor just nodded, asking no more questions. As I walked out of the office, 2 people came down the hallway. Elena was pulling a suitcase, looking like she'd come straight to the hospital from the airport. Liam followed her, wearing a black cashmere overcoat over his casual clothes, the Burberry one I'd given Elena for our 3rd anniversary. Elena saw me, and her brow furrowed. "What are you doing here? Sick again?" That word, again, stung like a needle. She snatched the papers from my hand, her eyes scanning them with a flicker of annoyance. "I have a full surgical schedule tomorrow. This isn't an emergency. We can do it when I have time to oversee it." "Don't worry about it," I said. "I've already handled it." She looked taken aback. This was coming from the guy who used to call her worried about every minor fever, the one who sent her a dozen options just to pick a weekend getaway destination. Now, here I was, calmly scheduling my own surgery. If she hadn't run into me, she probably wouldn't have known until after it was over. I took the chart back, accidentally knocking a small bottle from her hand. It clattered to the floor. "Strong prescription sedatives. It's not what you think," Elena said, bending to pick them up. Her voice was as flat as if she were discussing the weather. "They're for Liam's chronic insomnia. Doctor's orders." Liam clutched the coat tighter, his voice a fragile whisper. "I'm so sorry, Caleb. It's all my fault. My anxiety has been so bad lately I can't sleep. I can't focus. Elena is the only one who understands. She said she couldn't leave me alone in case I did something stupid." Her voice trailed off. "You don't know what it's like. Sometimes my head is just full of dark thoughts. I can only get through it when Elena is with me. I just wish I could be strong like you." I'd heard this script before. Every time I questioned their relationship, Liam would bring up his mental health and his episodes, and Elena would shoot me a look that screamed, "How can you be so heartless?" Once, I had a sharp pain in my chest and asked her if it could be stress-related. This brilliant cardiothoracic surgeon told me, "I don't know. I'm off the clock." When I complained she was being dismissive, she just pinched the bridge of her nose wearily. "Can't you just look it up yourself? You're a grown man, Caleb. Can you be a little more independent? Stop relying on me for every little thing." So frugal with her words for her boyfriend. Yet she personally escorted someone else to their pharmacy. "Well, you should take good care of him then," I said, my voice completely flat. "After all, his sleep schedule is much more important than my surgery, right?" Liam's face flushed. "Caleb, that's not what I meant. Are you still mad?" Elena cut him off, her eyes fixed on me. "Just because I didn't tell you I was going out of town? 2 weeks ago was her birthday. I had worked overtime for weeks to get the day off, cooked a 5-course